Hey y'all, it's me, Colleen, Film Noir Nomad. Today I'm in an RV park near Grand Junction, Colorado. I've been here for a couple of days. There's been some hurricane rains and some flash flooding, like for the next 100 miles or so. So I thought it was a good idea to, kind of hold up here for the next couple of days. And today is the first day the sun's been out since like Sunday. Today's Thursday, I believe, Wednesday or Thursday. So I'll probably maybe leave out this afternoon. Well, I mean not this afternoon, I mean in the morning, because it's still supposed to rain some more this evening. And I'm only maybe about 30 or so miles away from the border, maybe 40. So not that far. In the first, I think I should be to Loma tomorrow. If I leave in the morning, I should be to Loma, Colorado by tomorrow. And then once I get to Loma, it's only 2 or 3 miles across the border, so I should be well into Utah by Saturday. And then the hard part really begins, because I went through my maps and it looks like the longest days, the longest stretch I'll have between water sources is like 6 days. And then I went back and did food, and it looks like the longest stretch I'll have between, real stores, not gas stations, is 12 days. And between Moab and Zion, that's like a little over maybe 130 miles or so. And in that whole distance, there's only 2 gas stations. So not only am I going to have to be packing quite a bit of water, but I didn't realize how much food I was going to have to pack. So I'm really going to have to, get on a more lightweight diet. So probably won't be any more Hamburger Helper. I'm going to have to go back to the Nor rice size, because they only weigh a few ounces, and you can let the air out, fold it down real small. So I can pack, 12 different rice or pastas in a very, very small portion. And I still have dehydrated ground beef, not dehydrated, freeze-dried ground beef and chicken, which I think I have, I shouldn't need any more of that until I get to Zion. So I think I'm good on that. I just, I have to find creative ways to make these meals, because I am trying to limit my carbs. So, because I am trying to get back into ketosis. So what I've been doing these last couple of weeks, I choose my carb for the day, and I normally, like if it's rice or pasta, I'll normally eat that for breakfast, around 9-10 o'clock, and if it's too much, I'll eat it again, around 1. But as hungry as I've been lately, I probably will eat the whole portion early in the morning. And then, I don't really have a lunch per se. I do a bunch of snacking, jerky nuts, that kind of stuff. And if I have some cookies or some cake or something, that would be the time I would also eat it. But dinner is pretty much bacon and eggs, because it's pretty quick. I have some powdered eggs. I have the microwave bacon, so it doesn't take more than 5 minutes or so to make. And what's most important is that I don't go to bed with a bunch of carbs on me, because that's part of what has been hurting my sleep for these last several years. I eat carbs. I might eat some rice or spaghetti for dinner, but I failed to realize early on that carbs are also sugar. So after your body breaks it down, you get hit with that sugar spike that normally is supposed to give you energy, but you don't need that junk at 1 or 2 a.m. in the morning, unless that's the time you get up, to get your day started. For me, that's the middle of my sleep. So that's how I first started getting into ketosis. I started cutting out carbs. I wouldn't have any carbs like probably after 4 or 5 o'clock. Because for me, I've learned in my body that for me to get hit with that sugar rush that we're all familiar with, it takes about 3 to 4 hours. So if I'm eating spaghetti for dinner, of course I'm going to get hit with this abundance of energy at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, because it doesn't even take that long. But eating the bacon and eggs, it doesn't matter to me, because sometimes I don't get to set up camp until like 8:30, 9 o'clock, and then that's when I'm eating dinner, 9, 10 o'clock, and it doesn't much matter when it's just protein and fat. But I do think that maybe I'm not getting enough protein. because I eat tons of jerky and chicken and, you know, everything. But like my calorie requirement is crazy right now. Because when I was at home, I would limit myself to like less than 30 carbs a day. But now that I'm out here, I can have 75, 80 carbs. But if I'm having that many carbs, it also means I'm eating a lot of calories. And, you know, I need to eat a lot of fat, which becomes, you know, it becomes hard to keep up with, you know, because there's a, you know, like a kind of ratio you try to follow. I'm supposed to be having more fat than anything. Fat number 1, protein number 2, carbs number 3. But 75 carbs is a lot. And I pretty much probably around 2,500 to 2,800 calories a day. And I've been feeling, you know, after I got over the keto flu, I've been feeling good again. So I figured, you know, there's not really any way for me to know if I'm back in ketosis or not. But I kind of feel like it. Like I noticed it a couple of days ago. I don't feel the need to be snacking. And that was the number one thing for me, the snacking. Oh, and I forgot to mention, I do start every day with bulletproof coffee. And, you know, for you all who've had it, you know what it can do for you. It can provide tons of energy for a long time. And even out here on the trail, I still have my ghee. So I have instant coffee, some dry cream, a little bit of dry powdered milk, my vanilla Madagascar bean ghee, and that's my bulletproof coffee. And ghee is a butter replacement for you guys that don't know. So yeah, putting butter in coffee can be a little odd, but it makes it taste so good, and it's so creamy and rich, and you know, you just drink it, and you know, you just have this abundance of energy with no crash. You know, unlike, you know, when I start my day with a milkshake, which I have done more than one time being out here. Because, you know, why not? Just like the cookies and stuff. And, you know, for these last probably 3 months or so, I, you know, really let myself get it. Even though I've still managed to lose weight, not quite a lot. Maybe I've lost 5 or 10 pounds in these last 2 or 3 months. Unlike when I first started, I dropped weight pretty quickly because I was still doing keto then. And, you know, I was still new to the walking. But I really think Colorado, you know, kind of took me up another notch, because it can't be just the keto diet where I have all this extra energy. And one of the guys I was talking to at the RV park yesterday, he was like, you know, I'm kind of like Goku. I've been training in the low oxygen area. So now that I'm down lower, you know, it just feels, you know, like literally there's a weight off me, and I just have this abundance of energy. And I just laugh because, you know, he's like 65. I didn't expect that reference to come from him. And I know the reference very well, because when I was in boot camp, my favorite shirt said I was training to beat Goku. So I think he might be right about it. I mean, just walking around just the RV park, and, you know, walking down to Walmart, it's just like, you know, like, I don't want to say I'm walking on air, but I feel like I'm doing more with less effort. So we'll see when I get to the desert. I mean, I may not even require as much water as I think I need, because typically me and Jake go through like 1.5 gallons. So that's how I calculate my math. I know, you know, even on a good day, even on our hottest days, when we was out there all day and it was 100 degrees, you know, in Illinois or Kansas or wherever we were, that was 100 degrees because it went on for a while. But we never had more than 1.5 gallons a day. Sometimes it's just 1 gallon, you know, because but the desert will be a lot drier. I got a lot more, you know, stops, you know, a lot more space in between towns, and I'll probably, you know, my mileage will probably go up because there's a lot I don't have to worry about anymore. Like, since I got into Colorado, it's kind of sleep anywhere. You know, you just get a nice spot in the woods, you can just kind of sleep anywhere. There's no trespassing. There's a lot of BLM land here, and, you know, government-owned land and state-owned land, and, you know, you just kind of sleep anywhere. So, and it's going to be like that through Utah, Nevada, and the first part of California. So for probably the next 8 weeks or so, you know, one of the biggest stresses I've had on the trip is gone. I mean, it's been replaced by my worry about water, but still, I mean, if you've been following my videos for a while, where I was going to sleep every day was like a huge stress for me, because it's hard to wake up and not know where I mean, I know about how much different distance I can cover, but who knows when I get there if there'll be actually a place to stay and I got to keep on walking, or got to sleep in the cemetery, or got to sleep behind an office building, or got to sleep in the ditch, got to sleep under the bridge. It's just like hard. But with so much land around, it's really just put your tent up and sleep. Walk until you get tired, put your tent up, sleep, wake up, do it again the next day. So that aspect of it may make these next 8 or so weeks go by fast. Because really, I was doing my math yesterday, and I think I'm about 9 weeks out from California. From the finish line in Point Reyes National Seashore. And it's kind of crazy, because I should be out of Utah in about 3 weeks, Nevada probably about 2 to 3 weeks, and then California another 2 weeks. And so it's almost time to go home, that's why I started trying to get back into ketosis, because I've developed a lot of bad eating habits while I'm out here, and when I go home I'm probably not going to be burning 4,000-6,000 calories a day and walking 6-8 hours a day. So I kind of got to get things back under control. I can't go home with hiker hunger, because I can probably gain 20 pounds back the first month I'm home, which a lot of people do, and I don't want to do that, because I'm looking forward to not having to worry about any more heart medication or anything like that when I